Good morning. Today's video is probably one of the, if not the single most important video I've done to date. Because while as a defendant, it certainly has something to do with you, more important, today's topic is of the utmost importance and concern to your spouse and loved ones. Because what we're going to discuss today, the innocent spouse form, has to do with if you're charged with a crime and eventually sentenced, and you have restitution or a fine, how does that affect your spouse? What happens if you go to prison for a period of time and then once you're home, have restitution to pay? And are your spouses liable for it? Are your loved ones liable for it? You know, I remember the day I was charged, the day I was arrested. And the first thing that went through my mind was, wow, what's going on? Why are they arresting me? But then from that point until I got home, the only thing that went through my mind is what impact is my arrest going to have on my wife and children? Because while I was in prison and I was fed 3 meals a day and had a place to sleep, the impact on our loved ones is substantially greater. And if you have restitution or a fine and you're not paying it off before sentencing, that restitution could affect any monies that your spouse might get if you file a joint return. And while I'm not an accountant or a tax attorney and I'm not giving legal advice, I can tell you that nearly every conversation that I have with a client who is concerned about what happens when I'm home, or more important, what happens to my loved one with the millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars in restitution and fines that they might be saddled with after they get home. Are your spouses liable? Do they have to worry that any eventual returns or refunds that they might be due from the IRS are going to be attached and garnished? The simple answer is no. If you prepare properly, if you understand what you can do now to avoid having an innocent spouse, the loved ones that we leave behind and might be affected by our acts and restitution, what can you do now? What can you do when you get home? There are tools in place today that you can use and employ to protect your spouse and loved ones. I encourage you not only to read the attached blog, but to give me a call and let's discuss how to relieve a little bit of anxiety and pressure that your spouse and loved one are currently going through. Because remember, ultimately, you're going to a federal prison where you will be safe. What we leave behind is a mess. What havoc we've created for our spouses is beyond words. And if there's something that we can do now, or you can do now, to just remove one little piece of that, you have every right and obligation to consider it. So please, give me a call and let's discuss it.